भूतगणातिसेवितं कपित्थजम्बूफलसारभक्षितं उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपङ्कजम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मत् आचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. So welcome to this new program. I am calling it a SanKatha, as before Sanskrit and the Kathopanishad combined to make it SanKatha. It's also SanKatha. The name Kathopanishad, Katho itself means distress, and SanKatha means pleasant distress. So it's going to be a very interesting session today. And for those who really missed it last time, I'd like to give you a very quick overview of how the Upanishads are connected with the Vedas and how it's going to help us. As you all know, Vedas, the great treasure, which contains so many of these branches of knowledge. But basically, Vedas got two main parts. One, which focuses on rituals and the practice of it for benefit, specific benefits. Dharmartha Kama. That there are four stages: Dharmartha Kama Moksha. Dharmartha Kama are the three parts which are focused in the first part. It's called Purva Bhaga. And that is very exhaustive. And there you do many things physical, like, for example, pujas. You do the pradakshinam around the temple. These are physical activities. You also have vachika activities, or what to talk from the mouth, like reciting mantras, Rudram, for example, and you can do japam or recitation of Vishnu Sahasranamam. These all fall into the second category of vachika. And the third category is what is manasa, or mental, like meditation, upasana. All these are done with a view to get some specific benefits. So you have the rituals which are done, activity, eventually you get knowledge and benefits. When you do Sankalpam, before any Mammopata, Samasta, Durdichetvara, Sri Parameshwara, Prityattam, Subhe Shobhane, Muhurti, Adya Brahmanaha, Viparapti, all that, say Ishtakamyartha Siddhyattam, to fulfill all your desires. Ayud Arogya Abhivirtya Abhivirtyattam, to enhance your life, to enhance your health, to enhance your personal pleasures. That is the objective of the Purva Bhaga. The second part which I mentioned is the Anta Bhaga, what is called Vedantam. You know, when you have any program, you have a conclusion. Let's say you have a conference or a meeting, you have the last part is a conclusion in which you summarize the whole thing, and then you say, this is what we have decided. Minutes of the meeting, you say, this is our conclusion. Likewise, the Vedanta portion is the one which concludes, it's the essence of Vedas, but with a different objective. The objective here is to get the ultimate bliss, or what is called moksha. Amongst the four I mentioned, Dharmartha Kama Moksham. The moksham is the final one, bliss. That is the goal. Don't think moksham is a different world, so you are looking at heaven. Not so. It is something which is in yourself. So it does what is called Atma Vicharam. Atma Vicharam means self-enquiry, self-enlightenment, discovering yourself. Who am I? That question is what is answered by the Upanishads. So the Upanishads, there is no in-between kind of activities as such. It is just knowledge straight away going into the benefits. By understanding yourself, you get the benefit of a bliss. Yesterday, my grandson recommended I should see a movie. I rarely see movies, but I think that really showed the essence of Upanishads. The movie was called Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda. In America, they call Kung Fu. It's a cartoon movie, maybe a Chinese movie, I think. But what it does is ultimately it shows the power of oneself is not external. The power of enjoyment is not external, but it is internal. That is the final conclusion of that movie. And I thought it is very apt. If you get the time, watch this movie, you will be able to understand what is the purpose of Upanishads. So, Upanishads give you the instrument like a mirror. Now, when you want to see your own eyes, you need a mirror. When you want to see your back, which you can't do by yourself, you need a mirror. The Upanishads serve you as that mirror to discover yourself, the power hidden with you. It makes you strong. It makes you ultimately reach out to yourself, not to some external thing, but within you. So that is the purpose of Vedantam. It doesn't call for any rituals, but it requires a maturity of mind. But Vedas itself, just as you have those 4 P's in marketing, enunciated by Philip Kotler, the marketing guru, they call 4 P's: the product, the price, the promotion, the place. Likewise, we have 4 C's here: the content, candidate, who is the candidate for this? What is the consequence of this? And finally, the connection between the mantras and you. So here, the candidate's qualifications are important, whereas Dharmartha Kama Moksham is very common. Most of the garden variety kind of rituals you have, people can do it. But Upanishads is difficult. So you require a certain maturity of mind, and it is not for everyone, as I mentioned last time. It's meant for people who can really grasp its meaning and be able to follow what is given, and that requires understanding. It's also called secrets, Rahasyam as they call it. All these gurus, you find the picture here, the guru is seated above and then the Sishyas are seated very close to them. And the secret is being passed on. So each of these Upanishads has been doctored out by a rishi, which has been passed on. And Kathopanishad also was propagated by a rishi. It is a part of the Vedas, which I'll come to now. And before we, that's a very quick overview of the Vedas and the Upanishads forming a part of it. Going further, we usually start with a Shanti mantra. Upanishads is also coming from Taitra Upanishads, which is reflecting the team spirit and the faith that we have in that force, the Lord Almighty, you can call him by any name. May we get the protection and the energy to work with him. So I'm going to recite it, and you can also recite it. Om Sakhana Vavatu Sakhanau Bhunaktu Sakhavirjam Karavavakai Tejasvinavaditamastu Bhavitvishavakaye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. No, it's a very, very interesting mantra. Sahana Vavatu. Saha here. Saha means he. Who is he? That Lord Almighty. It doesn't name. It doesn't call it Rama or Vishnu or Krishna or Shiva. May the Lord. And Ha is for emphasis here. Saha, a pronoun. Sahana Vavatu means may the Lord protect us both together. Sahanau Bhunaktu. Bhunaktu, the word. Bhu is the root here, to eat. Bhojanam comes from that. Sahanau Bhunaktu means may he nourish us both. Saha Viryam Karavavahai. Viryam means great energy. Mahavir, Hanuman is called Mahavir. Great energy. Saha Viryam Karavavahai means may our activity with you be blended with great energy. Maybe work together with great energy. You need the enthusiasm and physical energy. And lastly, Tejasvi Navaditamastu Bhavitvishavakaye. Tejasvi means radiance, the brilliance. May there be radiance and brilliance with Vishavahai, Dveshavahai. Actually, it is Dvesha. Dvesha means hatred. Let there not be hatred or hostility between us. And finally, you say Om Shanti 3 times. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Why should you say 3 times? Is it not enough if you say only once? Now, there are 3 kinds of dangers that we have. What is called tapatraya. Internally, once. That is what is caused within you by yourself. Like, say, somebody is addicted to liquor or gambling, bad habits. These are all created by oneself. May I get protected from that, those which are created by yourself. Adi Atmika, it is called, within you. The second is Adi Bhautika, which is those which are created externally, on which you have some reasonable control. Like, for example, there is rain, you can always take an umbrella. Or you are getting mosquito bites, you can put a net or use good night, the smoke that comes out to repel the mosquitoes. So these are all small dangers which come from outside, on which you have a reasonable control. You can protect it. The third one is Adi Devika, which is referring to the acts of God on which you have no control. You have things like tsunami, you have floods coming in, you have fire, you have earthquakes. You can only kind of predict them, but you have no control. Man, all the scientific advancement has very little control on these acts of God's. So we are praying that let me be protected from this tapatraya, and that is why you say Shanti 3 times. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The Vedas are all positive. There is nothing negative about them. They wish well not only for an individual, but for the entire community, entire world. It doesn't distinguish, it doesn't discriminate between people of different races, people of different languages. It says for everybody. And that's the best part of Vedas. Okay, That's about the Shanti Mantra. And now I am going to tell you something about the essence of Upanishads, which we covered partly last time. Why should we really study? What is our real need? Everybody wants peace and tranquility. Who doesn't want it? Now, how to meet this need? Is it possible to get it from the first three goal, dharma, artha, kama? So you find they are not really satisfying. They are what is called anitya, temporary. You can today buy a car, after some time it becomes old, you want to change it. Today you buy a set of clothes, you have to change it. You buy a home, not enough, so you buy a bigger home. So the need goes on. So it doesn't really give you the peace and tranquility. Look at the people who are really extremely rich. Are they really at peace by themselves? Maybe they are miserable in comfort. It doesn't guarantee. You may buy the most expensive mattress, still it doesn't guarantee you sleep. So the need ultimately is you want to be happy with yourself, peace and tranquility. And Upanishads show the path. It says there is no everlasting joy or sorrow. All are relative. An impact of any event is related to time and space. You know, probably 10 years ago when your father or mother passed away, you might have cried at the time, and people cry when somebody dear passes away uncontrollably sometimes. But 10 years after, do you still cry? No. You almost forgotten the incident. So it's related to time. The longer the time is, the less is the impact. Likewise, space. Yesterday we read some news that there is somebody mowed down by a van in Spain. Those who are in Spain, they'll get it. But people here in America and other places, they just read it. But if the same incident were to happen here in Chicago, I'll be even more worried because it is close and I have so many people here. And if it happens in my own home, there is a fight between the kids, I get even more worried. So the farther the space, less is the impact of an event. The closer you are, the greater the impact. The Upanishads speak of the truth related to time and space. So for science, this truth is a mere postulate. But for the Upanishads, it is a truth to be realized within you by personal experience. In other words, understanding oneself. Atma Vicharam is what is the Sanskrit term for it. So that is the essence of Upanishads. And by doing a study of the Upanishads, you will gradually start learning the powers within you, the inner nature of man, and how to really overcome some of those so that eventually you attain peace and tranquility within yourself. So that is the great essence of Upanishads. So going further, I am going to start this session called SanKatha. Now, Kathopanishad, there are people who call it as Kathopanishads. Also, it's called Kathopanishad. Both are correct. Katho literally means distress. The word kashtam in Tamil or kashta in Hindi comes from the verb, the root called kata, which means distress. Sankatam is another word. Sankatam, some is good, like Sankara. Sanskrit. Sanskrit is well done. Krit comes from the root kriv. Likewise, here Sankatha means pleasant distress. Let's imagine that you get invited for dinner at the same time by 3 of your friends. They all love you, so they all want to take you out for a restaurant for dinner at the same time in different restaurants. Well, on one hand, it's very pleasant to have such an invitation at the same time. But on the other hand, it's also a distress for you. How can you go and attend the dinner at 3 places at the same time? So that becomes SanKatam. So here, it's a pleasant distress. You have here, the pleasant part of it is really going through these online. And the distress part of it is a little painful for you to understand this. But once you do that, you are really enjoying it. So I'm calling it Sanskrit plus Kathopanishad called SanKatha, like we did SanGita. And this is the first session we have. Now, as usual, I want to give you a very quick overview of the Kathopanishad. It is got 119 verses in it. And it is a part of the Krishna Yajurveda. Yajurveda has got 2 parts, Krishna and Shukla. So I'm not going into the detail of that one right now. Krishna Yajurveda is the principal one, and this is coming in the Katha Sakha of the Krishna Yajurveda. And it's got basically 2 chapters. And each of 3 subsections, you can say, sections called Vallis. How does this name Valli come? Valli means in Sanskrit a herbal wine. It's a wine which it's got medicinal. So likewise, this Upanishad also has got medicinal, herbal properties of curing your distraught mind. Some people might here know there is a medicinal Valli called Karpura Valli. This plant, you can see, is like tulsi. It smells like tulsi or camphor. So it's called Karpura Valli, and that's used for medicinal. They can extract a juice from it and use it. So here, each of these sections is called Valli as a small branch of the main chapters. So what is it basically? It is a dialogue between Lord Yama, who is the god of death, and a young brahmachari boy, Kumaram as he says, 8 to 10 years old boy, called Nachiketas. It's very similar to the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, which we covered over 20 lessons in SanGita. The first 3 chapters we covered. And it starts in Bhagavad Gita with a confusion in Arjuna's mind. And he starts asking questions to Krishna. And Krishna answers him to clear his doubts. Likewise here, this young boy, he has many questions. And he asks these questions to Lord Yama. He's called Dharma Raja. Yama is supposed to be a very fair-minded person and a strict follower of Dharma. Therefore, it's called Dharmaraj. So he's asking these questions to Dharmaraj. And whatever he has talked about in this dialogue, Gita has got many quotes from this Upanishad. They're almost similar, but here it goes a step further because it unveils the mystery of life and death, the law of karma, and the inner nature of man, so that you understand yourself. So that is the best part of the Upanishad, that it reveals the inner nature of man. And this is something which other Upanishads are not covered fully like this one it is. And this katha is magnificent in its poetic beauty, the mystical value. It touches some of the vital points of spirituality. The ultimate goal of this is to gain self-knowledge through Atma Vicharam, through asking questions. Pramanam Vedascha, called Abhastambha Dharma Sutra. So the instrument used here to understand yourself is these Upanishads. The verses you find, they're all statements of human consciousness. Well, the Upanishad has got a story as its background. And I'm going to tell you the big background story. The first 1.5 vallis, they consist of introduction that gives the background story. The first valli and half of the next one, 17 verses, the second valli. Actual Vedanta starts only from the 18th verse. We are not going to cover all the 119 verses. It's going to take a long time. And some of them are relatively less important. Therefore, I'm going to give you the selections from this Kathopanishad, which are most relevant for you and easy to understand. So, what does this story tell us is something, this story is telling you the glory of what is called Brahma Vidya. Brahma Vidya is the ultimate knowledge of Brahma, of Brahman, whom we can't describe, whom we can't see. It's not like that you can say, well, I want to buy 2 pounds of Brahman. No, you can't do that. It has to be experienced. It is not a product which is tangible. It is intangible. It requires a guru. It requires a guru. It is not self-taught. That part of it you'll know as we go further why a guru is required. And a guru who is qualified to teach you this, and who is such a guru, is also visible in this story. And it also gives you what are the qualifications required for the candidate or the student. So it's called Guru Lakshana and Sishya Lakshana. There are certain basic needs, qualifications. So which is also evident from this story. So here, I'm going to give you the story. There was a great rishi or a sage whose name was Vajasravasa. Vajasravasa. Now, what does it mean? Every name here in Sanskrit has a certain meaning. No, Vajaha means annam, food. Sravaha means fame or popularity. One who has become famous or has become very popular because of the annadhanam he gave. He gave food as gift. He acquired the name as Vajasravasa. His name was Gautama, but maybe he got this title as Vajasravasa, one who acquired fame by annadhanam. He was known for giving away things, charity. So he performed a great sacrifice, what was called Visvajit or Sarvadakshina. Now this was performed to get very high rewards. It was intended to get heavenly rewards. It was in the final stage of the spiritual progress, and he wanted to get the peace and tranquility which everybody is seeking, and he thought he will give away everything, all his possessions. It's called Sarvadakshina, giving away everything. And he performed this particular sacrifice, yajnam, in which he donated his cows, which were aged, very old, weak and barren cows, and his son, who was a young boy, very smart boy, he was observing it, and he was so intelligent that he knew these gifts are worthless. My father is giving away all these useless cows. Who is going to use them? Is it only for the namesake he is gifting it? It's not going to help him. So he was asking this question to himself, what is the use? He's not using it. He's not performing this yaga properly. He saw very clearly that this is not the correct way to do a yagam. Giving away barren cows, and the father's ignorance that it is not going to be bringing about any joy or any peace. If you want to have some good effect, he has to give good cows. So in this, Sarva Dakshina means everything has to be donated, including his own son. So Nachiketas was impatient, so he started irritating his father by asking him 3 times, Kaspai mam dasyasiti. To whom are you going to offer me as a gift? The father got irritated. He was very angry. And he said, Mrityuve tva dadamiti. Mrityu means the god of death or death. Tva means you. Dadamiti. I give you to death. You know, sometimes when people get very angry, they use the expression, go to hell, right? So here he really said, go to hell. I'm going to give you to death. Go away. He was so angry. So this is the background story, and then I'm going to lead you on to the verses one by one, in which you'll find a lot of wisdom coming in gradually. Let's go to chapter 1, Valli 1, verse 1. Vushan havai vajasravasaha sarva veda samdadhau tasya nachiketa nama putra asa. Ushanha. Ushanha means desiring heavenly rewards. U itself points to up. Like you say, upar. In English, you say upper, right? I think it's derived from Sanskrit word u. It should really be upar. But in English, we call it as upper. Even though the spelling starts with U. But in Hindi, you say upar. So, desiring heavenly rewards, why? Verily, Vajasravasaha is the name of the sage. Sarva Vedasam. Vedas means property. Sarva means all. All is property. Sarva Vedasam. Dadao. Dena. Hindi you kill dena, right? Come from the root da. To give away. Dadao gave away past tense. Dadao gave away. Tasya here. Of him, Nachiketa Nama. Actually, it's called Nachiketas, but Nachiketa Nama. Putra, his son. Asa means was. So the gist of this is desiring heavenly rewards of peace and tranquility. Vajasravasa, the sage, donated all his possessions and property, and he had a son named Nachiketas. So, going further to the second verse, is still in Valli 1. Tam ha kumaram santam dakshinasu niyamanasu shraddha vivesha. Tam ha kumaram santam dakshinasu niyamanasu shraddha vivesha. So amanyata. What does it mean? Tam means who? Kumaram. Kumaram is a word meant for a small boy who is typically about 7 to 10 years old, maybe first grade or second grade. Kumaram. Santam was Dakshinasu. Actually, Santam here was also referring to a good boy. Like you have Sant. Sant is a title given to some of the gurus. Sant, good boy, he was. Dakshinasu. Dakshina, you know that they give away the gifts to the priests as a kind of fee to the services they provide. So here Dakshinasu refers to gifts. Niyamanasu. Niyamanasu is being led away for giving. Why led away here? Because they are cows. The Dakshina here is not cash, but they are cows. In good old days, they used to give away cattle because people use that to get milk and use it for other purposes. So, niyamanasu, being led away for giving a distribution. Shraddha. Shraddha is faith or interest. Shraddham comes from that. Avibesha, entered. So, amanyata. He thought to himself. Manyata is to think. So, when the dakshinas of the cows or gifts were being led to be given away as gifts, Nachiketa, still a boy, was filled with Shraddha, interest. Because he thought, what did he think? He thought, what is going to be the fate of his father for distributing these kinds of gifts which are worthless? He knew that certain rules have to be observed when you are going to give away gifts. It applies today everywhere. You go to the temple, take good stuff for Naivedyam. You want to get bananas, best quality of fruits, the best quality of flowers. Don't do it just for the sake of doing it, but do it with interest. Then only you get the phalan or benefits. So here, he thought, what did he think? Pito daga jagatrina dukta doha nirindriyaha ananta namate loka sthanasa gacchati tadadathe. Pito daka jagatrina dukta doha nirindriyaha ananta namate lokasthan sagacchati tadadat. Pito daga. Those who know Hindi know. Pina means to drink. It's come from the Sanskrit word pa. Is a root. Pito daga is referring to those cows. Once drank water, it is past tense. Pito daga. Jagatrina. Jag means to eat. Trina means grass. Once they have eaten grass, but today they are so old, they can't even eat grass. Dakta doha. Dukta. Dukta means doodh. In Hindi called doodh, which is milk. Dukta doha. Doha is also from the dena. They gave milk once upon a time, but now nirindriyaha, they have become sterile. They don't yield any milk anymore. Ananda nama, joyless, lokaha, the worlds, to answer them. He gacchati goes, tadadat. He says, my father is giving away the kinds of gifts like these cows, which were once upon a time healthy and drank water. They gave milk, but they have now become barren. Why is he giving these? Who is going to get the benefit out of this? It's not going to help anyone. So he is very sad that his father is not observing the rules of this sacrifice. Going further is a fourth word. Sahovacha pitaram tatha kasmai mam dasyasi iti dvitiyam tritiyam tam hovacha mrityuve tvadadamiti. Sahovacha pitaram. Vacha. Vacha, is Sanskrit word to say. If you see, read Vishnu Sahasranamam, you have Uvacha in many places. Bhishma Uvacha, Bhagavan Uvacha. So Uvacha here is, he said, Pitaram, to his father. Pita is father. Sa Uvacha Pitaram. He said to his father, what did he say? Tat kasmai mam dasyasiti. Father, to whom will you give me? Dvitiyam tritiyam. Dvitiyam means dvi is two. Do in Hindi. Tritiyam, teen in Hindi. Tritiyam, third time. He said this a second time and a third time. Tam hovacha, his father replied, Mrityuve tva dadamiti. Unto death I will give you. He was so angry that his son kept on asking the same question 3 times. He was irritated clearly. Therefore, he said that I am going to give you to Mrityu, to death. And Nachiketas took it very seriously. He thought again, he's going to give me to death. Bahunamemi pratamo, bahunamemi madhyamaha, kim swadhyamasyasya kartavyam, yan mayadya karishyati. Bahunamemi, bahu. Hindi also you say bahut. Bahut pyari. Bahu means lot, more, among many. Bahunam emi. It's among many I may be. Pratamo, the first students, he was the brilliant student. I stand first in the class. Among many, I may be the Pratama, the first student. Bahunamemi, among many, I may be also ranking in the middle. I don't know. I may be in the eyes of my teacher. I may be in the middle. Kim, what? Those of you who attend the easy Sanskrit will know this. Kim means what? Shuddhamasya, the purpose of Yama, yanmayadya karishyati, that my father can achieve by offering me to Yama. What is the use of offering me to Yama? I don't know. Among many, I may rank the first or in the middle, but I'm certainly not the last. I'm not a dud. But what is the purpose Yama is going to accomplish by my father giving me to him? That is his question, his thought to himself. And he says, I can't think of any particular purpose. But then, going further, Lord Yama is a very important member of Indra's cabinet, Indra's kingdom. Now Nachiketa is wondering, how is he going to use me? And he knows that his father, he wants to fulfill his desires, and maybe offering him Nachiketas to Yama may not really be useful to him. So he's wondering what it is. Anupasya yata purve pratipasya yatata pare sasya vivamatyaha pachyate sasyam vivajayate punaha. Anupasya. Pasya is to look at. Anupasya yata purve. Look the way your forefathers went. Forefathers died. You look at them, they went away. Pratipasya. Pratipasya means look forward. Tata pare. Look also to those who will come later. They are also going to be born and die. Sasyamiva. Sasyam means plants or corn, the plants which grow. They grow full growth and then they wither away. Martyaha, like corn and plants, Martyaha, man, Marad, you say, Marad is for man, Pachate, decays, Sasyam Miva Jajate Punaha. And then the seeds fall down, they are reborn, the plants come up again. This is the natural law. Look back how it was with the old people. Look forward to those who will come later. Like corn does a mortal ripen. And like corn, he springs back to life again. So, at this stage, he says, anyway, since my father has said I'm giving you to the Lord of Death, so I am going to Yamaloka. Then his father cools down and he starts trying to console him and say, no, don't do that. Because I was angry, I told you. He tries to talk him out of it. But Nachiketa, he advised his father that you have given me away. Life is short and Dharma and Satyam are eternal. So for protecting, you should not sacrifice Dharma. In fact, it should be the other way about. Sacrificing one's personal life is better for the sake of Swadharma. So I am going to Lord Yama's abode and his father is not able to control him. So he goes to Yamaloka. But he goes uninvited. Lord Yama is not expecting him. It's not time for him. So what he does is he waits at the gate of Yama Dharmaraja for 3 nights. For 3 nights he keeps on waiting. And then, this is the verse 9, it says, Tisro ratir yad avasyas grihame Tisro ratrir yad avatsir grihe me anasran brahman atitir namasyaha namastestu brahman swastyamestu tasmat pratitrin varan pranishva. Tisro, 3, teen, as they call it. Ratri, nights. Very simple words, not really difficult. Yad Vatsi, staying. Like you say, Vasan itself is a place to stay. Nivas. You have some buildings which have got the name as Nivas. Krishna Nivas, Gokul Nivas. Place where is a dwelling. Yet Vatsi, that you have stayed. Grihe me. Griham means house. In my house. Me, my house. You see, me and my, they are almost similar, right? Me and my. Anasran. Asran means food. Anasran means opposite. Without food. Brahman. Oh Brahmana. Oh young Brahmin. Atiti. Atiti is guest. Namasya. Like you say, Namaste. I adore you. I offer my respects to you. You are an adorable person. So I say, Namaste astu. Salutations to you. I offer my salutations to you. Again he calls him Brahman. Swasti me astu. Swasti means to be good. Let all good accrue to you. To me. It's a mutual wishing. Tasmat. One be averting the fault arising from the. Look at the hospitality of Yama Dharmaraja. He's so humble. Vinayam. This young boy, and Yama Dharmaraja is a member of Indra's cabinet, big minister. Even ordinary ministers, they throw a lot of weight. But imagine a minister who is entrusted with a big portfolio, and he says so humbly that I'm so sorry, I kept you waiting for 3 nights. My fault. So I want to compensate for that. So he says, by averting the fault arising from that lapse, Prati, one in respect of each night, Varan Pranishwa, ask for 3 boons. I made you wait for 3 nights. Therefore, please ask me 3 boons. He offers. Now it shows how a person like Yamadharmaraja follows a certain etiquette of treating a guest at home, in his home. I'm so sorry, he says. Brahman, you are a venerable guest who has stayed in my abode 3 nights without eating. I offer my salutations to you. May prosperity be to me. Please choose 3 boons as a compensation for the 3 nights that I made you wait. So this is verse 10. Shanta sankalpaha sumana yata syad vita manyur gautamo mabhimrityo tvat prasishtam ma abhivadet pratita etat trayanam pratamam varam vrine. Shanta sankalpaha. Shantam itself means peace. Sankalpaha, free from anxiety. Sumana. Sumana, so the mana is mind. Manas. In Hindi you call it manas. Tamil also you get manas. You see the mana. Actually, the word man has come from mana. Sumana is a calm mind. Yata syat, may become. Vita manyuhu. Manyuhu is anger. Utote itape. In Rudram this starts manyuhu. Vita manyuhu is free from anger. Gautamo is the name of his father. Mabi towards me. Mrityo, oh death. Tvat prasishtam, when I return to him, released by you, ma abhivadet, and talk to me, pratita, recognizing me, etat, this one, trayanam, among the 3 boons that you offered, pratamam varam, this is the first boon, vrine, I'll seek. So he addresses Yamadharmaraja, O death, what do I choose as the first of the 3 boons? I choose that my father, Gautama, should be cheerful and should be free from anxiety and anger. When I left him, he was very upset. But I want him to be happy. See the duty of a son to a father. And he should recognize me and welcome me when I get back home after you release me. He has already taken for granted that he will one day be sent back because he's going to ask that. It's a boon. My father should be really the same old father. He should love me. He should recognize me as his son. Be cheerful. What pure feelings that a son has got for his father. He had actually surrendered himself to death so that his father will get liberated. And he also understands the pain the father is going through due to this incident. Therefore, here you see Nachiketas as a very, very loving son who is seeking the well-being of his father. So hearing this, Yamadharmaraja was delighted. Since at such a young age, this boy is asked for something even elders will not ask, not have thought about it. So he was very pleased, he gave him that boon. Going further, is probably the last verse we are going to have today. Yatha purasthat bhavita pratita audalakir runir mat prasishtaha sukam ratrihi sayita vita manyuhu swam dadri shivan mrityu mukhat pramuktam. Yatha purasthat. Purasthat. Yatha means just. Just as before. How was your father before? Just as he was before. Babita Pratita, having recognized you. Audha Laki Arunihi. Audha Lakihi Arunihi. It refers to Gautama. Audha Lakihi Arunihi. Your father. Mat Prasishtaha. Swam Dadja Shivan Mrityu Mukhat Pramuktam. Seeing you freed from the jaws of death. Mrityur Mukhat means from the jaws of death. Sukham, happily. Ratri, many nights. Sayita, sleep. Sayanam means sleep. Vitamanyuhu, even in Hindi you get Sayanam. All the sleeper cars for the trains, they have the Sayanam. Vitamanyuhu is getting over his anger. What Yamadharma Raja says here, by my command, your father Gautama shall recognize you after being released from the jaws of death, and he shall be even to you and good to you as he was before. He shall also sleep very peacefully at night and be free from anger. So a person who is angry, he doesn't get good sleep. So he says, he will be free from anger and he will sleep well. That's what he says. So we conclude today's session with a concluding mantra, which is also taken from the Upanishads. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. This is a concluding mantra, the meaning of which I shall explain in some other session. Very interesting because it is got a great philosophy in it. So we will stop at this with the first boon having been granted by Lord Yama.